A blessed Holy Saturday to you all saints. And so you might be thinking, it's Saturday, it's the day of the vigil, Easter is upon us, and it is upon us, but it is not quite here yet. Today right now we're in the midst of what's known as Holy Saturday. If we look at our Book of Common Prayer, we can open it to page 283, and it has a service for Holy Saturday. This is a non-Eucharistic burial liturgy that we celebrate that commemorates when Jesus was just laying prone in the tomb. And this is the call for that day. O God, creator of heaven and earth, grant that as the crucified body of your dear Son was laid in the tomb and rested on this holy Sabbath, so we may await with him the coming of the third day and rise with him to newness of life, who now lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. So that's our calling for Holy Saturday. And one of our scriptures for Holy Saturday happens to come in the book of Job. Now, what's interesting about Job is that Job comes fairly late in our Bible, but is time-wise happens somewhere between Noah and Abraham. And so I want to read a little bit of this because it's interesting. Here's Job talking in the midst of his great suffering. And I'm starting on chapter 7 here, verse 7. For there is hope for a tree, if it is cut down, that it will sprout again, and that its shoots will not cease. Though its root grows old in the earth and the stump dies in the ground, yet the scent of water will bud and put forth branches like a young plant. But mortals die and are laid low. Humans expire, and where are they? See, what we see from this is that humanity, since before we had names for God and covenants and things like that, has been wrestling with what happens to us after we die. We've been wrestling with the fact that it seems like an end, and yet we hope for something else. And this is hard. This is hard for us right now as we wrestle with the death of our loved ones from COVID or other things. And this is also hard for Jesus. We have to remember that while Jesus had faith that something would happen, that God would bring him up on the third day, that Jesus didn't know what death would be like. And trust me, he was dead. This wasn't Jesus sleeping. This wasn't Jesus meditating. He didn't run up to heaven for a little while and then run right back down. This was Jesus lying dead. And when he woke up in many ways a different person. So this is important for us because this time we're experiencing right now, some people like to call it a break, some people call it sabbatical, some people call it a vacation, but really it's a loss for us. It's a kind of death for us in our communities. As people of faith, we know that with God, there will be life again, and there will be blessings with that. And nonetheless, it is also time for us to sit and lament and to really mourn the loss. So I invite you to do that this Holy Saturday before Easter tide. I'll see you soon.